Proceedings are resumed. I recognize the Honourable Minister responsible for planning to continue his contribution.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I believe when we took the break, I was speaking to the fact that in December of 2014, the applicant applied to the CPA for Block 20D parcels 173, 174 RM1, 175, and 452 to be rezoned from low density residential to general commercial. And the CPA then resolved to include parcels 447, 448, and 451 to the rezone area and to pursue a change in zoning to neighborhood commercial rather than general commercial. The CPA, in my view, Madam Speaker, and I've had discussions with the chairman and also the director of planning, and I think we've come to an agreed course of action in these matters. And I say, in my view, Madam Speaker, the CPA should not be including additional parcels to an applicant's application, and I'll explain why. Because if the CPA determines that additional parcels should be rezoned or included with the rezone, then I believe the CPA should require the Department of Planning to contact the affected landowners. And this was where the missing link was prior to this, because I don't believe that we should presume that any landowner desires for their land to be rezoned unless we know that they do. I don't think we can presume that. So I think that the CPA should require planning to contact the landowners to ask them if they wish to have their parcels rezoned. And so we've agreed that if at any time in the future this is what they want to recommend, that before they begin the process, they will contact the landowners and make determination from that if they wish their properties to be rezoned to whatever the proposed rezoning is. Madam Speaker, for the benefit of members, the applicant submitted a theoretical development proposal to the CPA, not for its consideration, but simply to put in context the rezone application. And the plan that they put forward depicts a supermarket and retail and mixed-use development and an open landscape area. This, Madam Speaker, as I've said in my introduction, comprises a some 40 acres with different parcels on the top of Linford Pearson Highway on the south side, about 1,200 feet from Silver Oaks, going east towards Tropical Gardens on the right-hand side. Several parcels, and it is about 40 acres. Madam Speaker, on October 15th, 2014, the CPA again considered the application in light of the public consultation process and resolved to forward the matter to the Ministry of Planning with the recommendation that the amendment or the proposed amendment be forwarded to the Legislative Assembly subject to Cabinet approval. On May 5th of this year, Cabinet approved the rezoning of 20D parcels 173, 174 RM1, 175, and 452 only, directing that it be referred on to Legislative Assembly for consideration. And they further resolve, that is the Cabinet, to require the Department of Planning to write to the landowners of Trinity parcels 447, 448, and 451 to invite them to apply to have their parcels rezoned to neighborhood commercial. The additional information that is supplied to support this rezone application includes a written summary of the application, 2 maps illustrating the location of the proposed zone. So, Madam Speaker, I trust that the House will see it fit to support and approve the rezoning of Georgetown East, Block 20D, parcels 173, 174 RM1, 175, and 451 from low-density residential to neighborhood commercial. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Where it is? Linford Pearson Highway, on the right-hand side going up. Before you get to the church. Before you get to the church.
Does any other member wish to speak? Recognize a member from East End.
Madam Speaker, I'm going to be much short. What you got a problem? No. Much shorter than I was earlier, but I mentioned the one in at Tortuga Club, and I was asked why I didn't go and inquire of them or tell them to apply for rezoning. The circumstances was identical. CPA recommended that the others be rezoned. Cabinet said no. Now, Cabinet has instructed that the department invite the others here now to apply. Now, I wonder what's the difference between Crew Road and East End.
Any other member wish to speak? Does any other member wish to speak? Final call. Does any other member wish to speak? I recognize the Minister responsible for planning, if you wish to reply.
Thank you, Madam Chair. While the Cabinet did not give instructions to the department to notify the landowners that were concerned in the East End proposal, I, through the ministry, instructed the department to contact the landowners to advise them of that, to ensure. And to be very truthful, I waited about 2 weeks because in talking to the minister, to the member from East End, I had suggested to him to go and let the landowners know what was happening and to speak to them. And that's the truth. Simple as that. Nothing more, nothing less. So planning did or were instructed to do the same. And Madam Speaker, for everyone's benefit, that is now, because the whole incident, or the whole situation, not incident, the whole situation came up with the East End application. So now there is a course of action to be taken each time, and that will ensure that all the landowners involved in any one of these applications are advised from early. And I can just simply tell the member from East End that because that was the first one, then obviously the CPA nor the planning department had not taken on that course of action until after the discussions with myself. So, Madam Speaker, I do trust now that, having explained that, and knowing how we get these applications dealt with in the future, that members will see it fit to support this one, and we can move forward. Thank you.
The question is that be it now therefore resolved that in accordance with Section 10.2b of the Development and Planning Law 2011 revision as amended, the Central Planning Authority hereby recommends and submits to the Legislative Assembly the following proposal for alteration to the Development Plan 1997, a summary and maps of which are attached hereto, and be it further resolved to alter the zoning areas of registration section Georgetown East, Block 20D, parcels 173, 174, Rim 1, 175, and 452 from low-density residential to neighborhood commercial. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, no. The ayes have it. Government motion number 4 is passed.
Government motion number 5 of 2015-16. Government guarantee in respect of a credit facility for the Cayman Islands Development Bank to be moved to the Honourable Minister of Finance and Economic Development.
Recognize the Honourable Minister responsible for Finance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I beg to move Government Motion number 5 of 2014-2015, which is captioned Government Guarantee in respect of a credit facility for the Cayman Islands Development Bank, referred to as CIDB.
The motion has been duly moved and is open for debate as the Honourable Minister for Finance wishes to speak to the motion.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the motion reads, whereas in order to refinance existing debt, CIDB invited proposals from local banks and accepted an offer from First Caribbean International Bank Cayman Limited, or FCIB, of a 10-year term credit facility for US $36,800,000 with a 3-year moratorium on principal payments at a floating rate of 3 months US dollar LIBOR plus 1.125%, which we refer to as a facility, subject to a guarantee by the government. And whereas on the 25th of June 2015, the Cabinet approved the seeking of authorization from the Legislative Assembly for the issuance by the government to FCIB of a guarantee in respect of repayment of the principal sum of US $36,800,000 Sorry, Madam Speaker. And whereas on the 25th of June 2015, the Cabinet approved the seeking of authorization from the Legislative Assembly for the issuance by the government to FCIB of a guarantee in respect of repayment of the principal sum of US $36,800,000, the payment of interest thereon, and all other amounts payable to FCIB under the facility, which we will term the guarantee. And whereas Section 17 of the Development Bank Law 2004 revision, or the DBL, provides that the Cabinet shall not guarantee the borrowings of CIDB unless a statement of the proposed guarantee has been laid before the Legislative Assembly and a resolution approving that statement has been passed by the Legislative Assembly. And similarly, Section 8 of the Public Management and Finance Law 2013 revision, or the PMFL, provides that as a general rule, no guarantee may be given by or on behalf of the government unless it has been authorized by a resolution of the Legislative Assembly. And be it now therefore resolved So, Madam Speaker, with your permission, I would now Madam Speaker, be it now therefore resolved that in accordance with Section 17 of the DBL and Section 8 of the PMFL, the Legislative Assembly hereby approves the statement of guarantee laid before the Legislative Assembly and hereby authorizes the Cabinet to issue the guarantee to FCIB in accordance with provision of Section 17 of the DBL, such guarantee to be executed by the Financial Secretary on behalf of the Government of the Cayman Islands. And Madam Speaker, my sincere apologies as I did not lay the guarantee before. So with your permission, I would now do so, Madam Speaker.
So ordered.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Sergeant, could you please ensure that members have a copy of the draft guarantee statement so that they can look at while the minister continues his debate? Thanks. Honorable Minister for Financial Services, you may continue your contribution if you had anything more to add to it, or did that conclude your contribution?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish to speak briefly to the government motion. Madam Speaker, CIDB had loan facilities with 11 multiple bondholders with amounts totaling US $36,800,000 US dollars. These loan facilities cost CIDB $808,837 in interest costs per annum. CIDB sought proposals from all Class A licensed clearing banks and received offers from 3 local banks, Madam Speaker. The management and board of directors of CIDB evaluated the bids received and approved acceptance of the offer from First Caribbean International Bank, Cayman Limited. Madam Speaker, the motion before this Honorable Legislative Assembly today is for the issuance of a guarantee in the principal amount of US $36,800,000 to First Caribbean International Bank, Cayman Limited, in order to consolidate and refinance loan facilities with 11 multiple bondholders. The loan facility from First Caribbean International Bank, Cayman Limited, is a 10-year term credit facility with a 3-year moratorium on principal payments at a floating rate of 3-month US dollar LIBOR plus 1.125% interest for an effective rate of 1.425%, Madam Speaker. The new loan facility from First Caribbean International Bank, Cayman Limited will cost the CIDB CI dollars 439,157 in interest per annum. Madam Speaker, when compared to the CI $808,837 that the CIDB paid on the loan facilities with the 11 multiple bondholders, this is a savings of CI $369,680 per annum, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the current 3-month US dollar LIBOR interest rate is approximately 0.30%. And Madam Speaker, it would require a 5-fold increase to reach 1.525% for the interest expense on the new First Caribbean International Bank Cayman credit facility to reach the CI $808,000 that we're currently paying in interest, or that we paid up until June, Madam Speaker. Therefore, the new rate, Madam Speaker, on the refinancing is significantly better than what we had with the bond issues. Madam Speaker, just to note that the loan facility with the 11 multiple bondholders matured on the 30th of June, 2015. But since the government was unable to seek the Legislative Assembly's approval for the guarantee prior to the 30th of June, 2015 maturity date, First Caribbean International Bank Cayman Limited allowed CIDB to draw down on the loan funds on the commitment that the Legislative Assembly would approve the guarantee at a subsequent date, Madam Speaker. The Ministry of Finance and Economic Development has confirmed that the guarantee of US $36,800,000 has already been included in the government's debt service ratio and the net debt ratio calculations. And thus, Madam Speaker, sorry, that would be for the 15-16 fiscal year. And therefore, Madam Speaker, there are no further financial implications for the government in this fiscal year arising from this transaction, based on the fact that this was already calculated and taken into account for the current fiscal year. Section 17 of the Development Bank Law 2004 revision provides that the Cabinet shall not guarantee the borrowings of CIDB unless a statement of the proposed guarantee has been laid before the Legislative Assembly and a resolution approving that statement has been passed by the Legislative Assembly. And similarly, Section 8 of the Public Management and Finance Law 2013 revision provides that, as a general rule, no guarantee may be given by or on behalf of the government unless it has been authorized by a resolution of the Legislative Assembly. Madam Speaker, this motion is of critical importance, and accordingly, Madam Speaker, I recommend Government Motion Number 5 of 2015-16 to all honorable members of the Legislative Assembly, and ask that they support the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Does any other member wish to speak? Does any other member wish to speak? Final call. Does any other member wish to speak? I recognize the Honorable Minister responsible for Financial Services.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I rise in support of the motion so ably brought by my colleague as the Minister with responsibility for the Cayman Islands Development Bank. I would like to just give my thanks to the Board of Directors who have done an excellent job in negotiating the terms of this credit facility with FCIB, First Caribbean International Bank. And certainly I'd like to thank them as well, because this reflects excellent terms for refinancing some of the previously outstanding debt for Cayman Islands Development Bank. So with that, Madam Speaker, I too would like to commend the motion to this Honourable House.
Does any other member wish to speak? Does any other member wish to speak? Final call. Does any other member wish to speak? If not, I'll recognize the Honourable Minister for Finance if he wishes to reply.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just to say thanks to all honourable members of this House for their tacit support, and ask that we all vote for it. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The question is that be it therefore resolved that in accordance with Section 17 of the DBL and Section 8 of the PMFL, the Legislative Assembly hereby approves the statement of the guarantee laid before the Legislative Assembly and hereby authorizes the Cabinet to issue the guarantee to FCIB in accordance with the provisions of Section 17 of the DBL, such guarantee to be executed by the Financial Secretary on behalf of the Government of the Cayman Islands. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, no. The ayes have it. Government motion number 5 is passed. I recognize the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we have 2 items left on the business, or of the business of this meeting, 2 private members' motions, both of which I hope we will be able to deal with tomorrow. I want to thank members who have stayed until after 7 this evening to complete the business on today's order paper. And with that, Madam Speaker, I move the adjournment of this Honourable House until 10 a.m. tomorrow, 13th of August at 10 a.m.
The motion is that the Honourable House be now adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those against, no. The ayes have it. Accordingly, the House now stands adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning.